Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Evolution Daily podcast. This is going to be a raw episode. There's not going to be an intro or music or anything like that. Hattie, I don't even know if you know this or not, but I'm in the process of moving.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm happy
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to have a backyard, which is really, I would say, the primary reason for the move. So, we're just doing this week on the webcam. I don't have the background set up. Everything's kind of coming apart, getting ready to move. So I'm looking forward to that. So we're just going to put out a raw episode. And for everybody listening right now, we are back with, I would say, the most requested and revered guest of the Evolution Daily podcast. We're here with Hadia.
Thank you, guys. I love you and your people. I love you, my people. You're my people. My familia.
I think that you and I have good podcast episodes because we're perceived so differently. Right?
I hope so.
I mean, people hey, that's people have heard all sides of me, but they've seen a lot of videos of me just like, listen, motherfucker, get out there, stop being a little bitch. And you're on here like, you must love yourself before you can love anybody else.
It's true. I stand by that. Self-loving, self-caring, having compassion for what's going on with you.
Yeah.
Because when you love yourself, you're in that energy, and then people want to be around you. When you hate yourself, who wants to be around someone who hates themselves? That's exhausting.
And people that hate themselves, that usually will manifest in the form of that won't always just manifest energetically or with a vibe. That'll also manifest in the form of being overly like aggressive or trying to slight people or oftentimes even trying to be dominant in their accolades, right?
Yeah.
Someone brings up some new little thing they're working on. Oh, I heard those businesses fail right away. See, I'm actually working on it. So also people just feel it like, ugh.
And then sarcasm. They do a lot of emotional blackmail, and the 4 agreements, he puts it in black magic. I've talked about this on here previously, not like a wizard or voodoo dolls. Like, our words create darkness to ourselves and each other when they're negative. He calls it black magic in the 4 agreements.
Wow, I should reread that book. I have it. I love that book so much.
Me too. It's amazing.
There's this one line, I love sharing it. There's this one line that hit me so hard in that book, and this one line changed my life positively forever. He said, the mind must be properly fertilized for the seeds of an idea to grow.
Yes. So that's what I want to talk about.
that helped me. That helped me to stop trying to change people.
Yeah.
It's like I can't change people, family, friends, people who I've tried to be like, dude, like, come on, man, you remember, like, we used to both be pieces of shit. Now you're just the one that's a piece of shit. I can help you, man. I found the way. I found game, and I've tried to change these people. Look, I've lost this weight. I can help you lose weight. They don't want to hear it. Their mind's not fertilized for that seed. So that seed is instantly rejected. Oh, you think you know it all? So I heard that line and I was like, I'm not going to try to change anyone. I'm going to be an example of change and growth and evolution. And if they're fertilized, then they'll come to me and the seed can grow.
That's emotional maturity, Aaron. It takes emotional maturity to not want to change the world around you because excuse me, I gotta drink some water. When we change and we want everyone else to change around us, we make it about us. You're making it about you. And you make it about you being self-centered and selfish. Like, but I want them to come along with me. I don't want to leave them behind.
Mm.
Emotional maturity is I'm changing. I am going to lead by example, and I'm going to have compassion for losing the connection with the people I love and care about and still be in their lives, accepting them as they are.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because when we want to change someone, we're rejecting them
Mm.
for our own. That's emotional immaturity. I need you to look like this, to talk like this, to be like this, so I can like you. That's not nice. That's mean. We're
Wow, that's
essentially rejecting people when we want them to change. It's like, why can't you just love me as I am? And people don't change because now they feel that they have to defend themselves and defend who they are. They've got an armor on and a
mm.
sword. That's why they're not changing. If we really want someone to change, just accept them and don't make them wrong for being who they are.
I love that. I think the point you made about now, because almost you're trying to push them to change, now they're going to hold on. Even if they deep down at their core actually believe what you're saying, they're going to hold
Mm-hmm.
on to their original idea, because for the ego, being wrong is the same as death.
Yep.
Yep.
They go into defense mode.
I had this just the other day. I was telling this girl, because so many girls are they're against lifting weights when it comes to like working out. It's like all about cardio for girls. And this girl told me the other day, she's like, I don't want to look like a man. I don't want to get buff. I'm like, you don't realize. I'm like, that would never happen. Like, these girls that dedicate their life to lifting, they have a hard time putting on muscle. You ain't going to pick up a 10-pound dumbbell. And then I felt like I did change her mind, but then she just kind of kept hitting back at me, and it became more of an ego battle than let's discuss what's wrong and what's right. So I think that
Because what
yeah.
because what people hear is rejection. You're wrong. You're not good enough. I don't want you. I don't like you. People, as soon as we start criticizing, and it is criticism, that's how it lands inside of them. Like, I want to connect with you. I like you. Why don't you accept me for who I am? And that's painful. In my opinion and life experience, rejection is the worst thing that we feel as a human inside our body. It just feels really painful. And then we have to defend ourselves. Again, we go to war with each other instead of going, you know what, let me think about that. Let me consider what you're saying.
Yeah, and you and we talked earlier today about a specific topic that we want to get into, and I think we should.
Yes.
I do want to get into that topic, but I think there's something
Yes.
really interesting here that I kind of want to touch on.
Okay.
So you're talking about how rejection is it's one of the most painful experiences we can have, and as we all know, the more investment that you have into let's say the rejector, right, the more painful it is. I can go talk to 10 girls right now and have them all look at me and be like, you're ugly, I have a boyfriend, go away. And I don't give a shit. But I date a girl for 3 months, 6 months, lots of dinners, lots of intimate connection, lots of time, lots of dates, and she, let's say, ghosts me or texts me and says, I'm done with you, you're ugly. I will be devastated, right? So the more investment. So what I think would just be interesting to bring up here is I think that so many men, especially guys even listening to this, that are into pickup and everything, what I see happening a lot, and I don't know if you've had this with your clients, but what I see happening a lot is actually a hatred of women coming from men, and it stems from so many rejections. Oftentimes a deep rejection where it was a relationship they got cheated on, a divorce, even things of this nature. So how does a man reconcile making himself so vulnerable to truly love, to truly, even financially invest, right? Gifts, maybe you guys are living together, these things, like, how does a guy rationalize making himself so vulnerable and open when that is where all of the pain can truly come from?
So that's not what I do, Aaron. I can't answer it from that level, but I can answer it from the level of stop being a victim.
Hmm.
As soon as the guy's like, oh, I'm rejected, that's victim consciousness. And you and I talk about this. And then shifting to owning that projection. Like, how can I be so vulnerable that when I get rejected, no one's going to hurt me? You stop rejecting yourself. When you fully accept who you are as you are and stand by that. Like, if you're a guy who has a messy room, you are actually comfortable and like being a messy guy, like being a dirty person, you stand by it. What anybody says, it doesn't matter. But if you are rejecting yourself, if you don't think you're good enough, you're not handsome enough, you don't have enough money, your environment is dirty, if you're ashamed about yourself and reject yourself, people will reject you and it will hurt because that's what you think about you. So the change has to be internally. Like, if you're gonna be an F up, stand by it. If you're gonna be funny, stand by it. Don't pretend, like, don't front. That's authentic. It's not about the woman accepting, it's about, are you gonna accept you? Are you gonna like you? When I work with men, they're like, nobody likes me. I'm like, do you like you? And they would say, yeah, I like myself. I'm like, no, really. Do you really like you? I'm like, no, I'm an asshole. I do this and that. Well, as soon as you think that, why would anyone like an asshole? If you think of yourself that way, but if you think you're an asshole and you stand by it and you like being an asshole, then people will like you. I know you've met guys who come across as brash, but they enjoy that. And it's funny. It's like, oh, cool. This guy likes himself. And it's easy to be around someone, and funny actually, and fun to be around someone who's cocky, who's full of himself, because he stands by who he is. When the guy is being an asshole and is uncomfortable and judging himself, it's going to create discomfort with the woman he's with.
That's true.
So that's how you do it. You start releasing the negativity that you have about yourself, worrying, oh, they're gonna catch me, they're gonna find out I'm an asshole. Of course they are, because you show up like that.
Yeah.
So changing from the inside, you can't change anybody and we talked about this a little bit earlier, you can't change anyone on the outside, and you shouldn't even worry about it. But we do, and we focus, we point, anytime we point the finger at somebody else, we're victim. You just stepped into being a victim and acting like a victim. A victor is, oh, okay, she rejected me because I reject myself.
And so I've been real big lately on the idea that and this is gonna sound, I mean, people have heard this kind of stuff before, but to me, as I get older, different concepts will mean more and more and more and deeper. Like they'll hit me deeper. And I'm such a firm believer now that, like, to all of life, action is the way. Action is the key. And it's like the only way, though. It's like the only way. And so, but the reason I bring this up is because, people have heard what we're talking about before. Love yourself, then others will love you. And they're like, well, how? How can I love myself? I can't seem to shift. And they do expect that, oh, just from this one podcast or from this one coaching call or from this book, I now love myself. Yay. No. In order to be happy, this is the thing, right? Tangible results, everybody can get on board and be like, yes, action is the answer. To get girls, I got to talk to a lot of girls. To make money, I got to start a business. To get a good body, I have to go to the gym. So that's easy. Action is the answer to understand. But even with non-tangible, being happy, being fulfilled, self-love, people have a harder time recognizing that action is also the answer. So if a guy right now, this is something you've talked to me about over the years that I've grown to understand through working with you, and it's like, if there's a guy listening right now and he truly will admit to himself, he doesn't have to tell anyone, if he truly admits, like, I feel like a piece of shit, I just fucking feel like I'm worthless, I feel like a piece of shit, action is also the answer. And the action there is uh, is doing things that show yourself and the universe that you have value. And
Yes.
when you start doing that, you become proud of who you are, and pride creates confidence.
Well, also action in physical form, like action steps, but also you got to do action mentally and emotionally. If you're sitting there working out and you look amazing, you're like, wow, I'm hot. Every woman walks by, like, yeah, you're hot. But if you still think less of yourself, it's not going to work out. You've got to align your
Hmm.
physical action, your mental process, and that's going into action, and your emotional.
Hmm.
Like I was working with somebody yesterday and I'm like, okay, we were working on loneliness. And I'm like, just repeat after me. Just say, oh, I feel so lonely. And then say, I belong. Just shifting that, it shifts your energy, it shifts your body.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're working out and you look good and you still think that you're an asshole or a piece of shit, putting it in your words, um, then that's how you're going to show up. You got to shift your thoughts as well and your feelings. Our thoughts and our feelings are also habitual, they're habits.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to physically, mentally, emotionally exercise. Physical exercise, you start walking, you start cleaning your house, you start having a better physical movement that supports who you want to be. And then you got to change your thinking. And it is practice. It's mental action. And then you got to start shifting your feelings about yourself. Every time you feel bad about yourself, you got to say no thank you and be kind and compassionate and loving. Like if you're talking to a little child or to a puppy, are you going to smack the puppy and be like, get the F out of here, you stupid dog? I mean, some people do that, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But most of us would be like, puppy, I love you. Even like the biggest macho men, they're sweet to little dogs. And you want to treat yourself with that level of care and kindness, emotionally and mentally. And then you
Mm-hmm.
eventually line up your physical action, mental action, emotional action. And then you up level and become emotionally mature. It's actually emotionally extremely immature to put yourself down. That's what children do. And I know
Mm-hmm.
adults do it because they're emotionally immature. An emotionally responsible man does not put himself down.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. You look around, you've met successful people, Aaron, and you've been around successful people. They don't go around, hey, I'm a fuck up, I'm a loser. They don't talk like that because it doesn't align with who they are and their life's purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put in action your thoughts, your feelings, and physical action. Like a lot of people think, well, I think what I think. No, you can change your thoughts. You can change your feelings.
Yeah, that's interesting that the putting yourself down is not in line with your life's purpose and your soul's purpose. Um, the first thing that kind of comes to mind is self-deprecating comedians.
Yes.
You see this a lot with not successful ones. Successful ones, like they'll kind of do it. Joe Rogan will make this whole joke about maybe something that happened to him in the media, and he'll be like, I'm a retarded cage fighting commentator. He's like, I smoke weed all day, right? And that's kind of different because he's got a minimum of $100 million. That's just what people know publicly that he has. So it's like different, right? Very successful guy. But I remember seeing so many, and I was guilty of it too. And I remember realizing, oh, this feels bad. Like
Mm.
so many stand-up comedians when they start, they self-deprecate. And trust me, okay, like I'm not getting girls off to any, like, I don't know, like whatever. They'll talk about how they're fat, they're broke, these things. And I remember hitting a certain point in comedy where I was like, ugh, I hate saying bad things about myself. And I can't stand listening to this guy do it too. Like you're embarrassing yourself in front of people. And it's like a low, easy hanging fruit to kind of like joke about yourself and you think you're getting the audience to like you. Um, something powerful I wanted to bring up because you were talking about a lot of this, even like the childlike, you got an F on a test or something. I'm so dumb. I'm so stupid. Why am I so dumb? Bringing yourself down in that way. Um, One of the things that I find to be the most powerful when it comes to the mental workout you're talking about, the mental exercise, um, that is like very practical, not even like super spiritual and all this, is like you, and you were the first one that really started helping me with this, is 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 and the more I can get into this practice, the happier I am. Asking myself, is this a rational thought? Is this an irrational thought? Because we use the word irrational all the time about others. You're being so irrational. This is so irrational. You think I was out with a girl? I was clearly with Steven. This is so irrational. We use that with others, but we don't look at our own thoughts and look at the real definitions, which I don't have pulled up, but basically to me, rational or irrational is, can this be backed up with facts? And most of the time, whether it's negative future fantasizing, any negative future fantasizing is going to be irrational. And also when you look at, oh God, I made such an ass of myself over there. Like, these people probably hate me now. It's totally irrational. Whatever the thing is that you feel so negative about, oftentimes, if you really ask yourself, what evidence is there to back it up? Let me step into logic for a moment. Oh, there's nothing rational here. So how about I try to actually steer towards logic and recognize that this just isn't true, this negative feeling I'm having. I think that's been a powerful practice for me, catching my ego, which I talk about this all the time. It's just like your ego is just trying to live. It's trying to live, and it's trying to have some sort of dominance, in the sense that the ego only knows itself in relation to others. And so it's, just the irrational thoughts and the rational thoughts, I think is very powerful. And I want to move now into the topic that you and I had kind of discussed earlier, because
Yay.
I mean, it's some of the most important shit out there.
Yes.
It's got its roots in many deep ideologies and practices. So,
Tell us.
Well, yeah, no, if you just want to go ahead, because you were feeling pretty passionate about this
I
concept.
am celebrating this.
Yeah, so go ahead and share it with us. Yeah.
Passion is pain. Celebrating, yes. So most guys are embarrassed and ashamed, and they hide being in the pickup community. And they worry about people finding out. And I work with a lot of you guys. A lot of you are my clients, and I'm happy to be supportive. And you got to let go of that. We need you, us women, need good men to go out there and do pickup, so you can offset the assholes that are out there putting a bad name for you. Like, the guys who are out there doing pickup, they just want to fuck them and leave them. And I'm not using the F word to be colorful. That's their thinking. They're sociopathic, they're narcissistic. And then the good guys shy away from it because they don't want that reputation. And what I want to put out there is, the good guys need to go out and start gaming, so women will have good experiences, and not let the guys who are narcissistic, sociopathic and there's only few of them, they like ruin this thing called pickup. You be the guy who goes out there, the good guy, and gives women good connection, good experience. And women would be more open. When that young man kept harassing me, I called you and I'm like, what do I do? You're like, get mace and spray it in his face. Do you remember that?
Yes, and I hope you've gotten mace by now.
I'm like, wow, that's dramatic. Like the 23-year-old young guy, I'm like, I'm not available. I'm 52. It was creepy, and he just wouldn't let up. And so my experience from that is, anytime a guy wants to approach me, I'm like, oh no, not dealing. So I want to invite the good guys in the pickup to go out there and change that attitude for women, change our experiences,
Yeah.
and let go of your shame. Let go of, oh, I'm going to get caught. Oh, I'm embarrassed. That's not useful. It's not useful for you. It's not useful for women. A lot of women out there who are heterosexual want to have a guy come up and say, hello, you're beautiful. How's your day? That feels good.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It feels good to get attention from the sex that you're attracted to when you're not creepy.
Yeah.
So I
And
want to encourage all the good guys to game and go for it, and like, you be the frontline soldiers to make it a good thing, a good name, and let go of the shame. The shame is not useful. The worry is not useful. The embarrass. It's just, those are feelings that are not useful.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. I keep cutting you off. I am passionate
No.
about this.
It's fine. No, it's really good. This is some of the most important shit. I've always, I've had so many, whether it's boot camps or guys in my mastermind or whatever, one of the things that they say that really drew them to me is the fact that, like, I'm clearly just a normal, cool guy that likes to, like, fuck girls and date and shit, right? There are so many pickup coaches out here and guys doing pickup that are skeezy little fucks. They are totally 100%. Look, I probably have some narcissism, maybe a little bit, whatever, but these are like psychopaths. These are actual psychopaths. Um, and even full circle back to earlier when I was talking about how I see this massive trend of men growing to hate women, and they'll deny it. Oh, I don't hate women. I just think that this is unfair and that's unfair and this is no. Like, you're growing to hate women because deep down you can't connect with them and you want to so badly. So it's actually easier for your ego to say they're the enemy than it is to say I desperately want to be their friend. Right? If
Mm-hmm.
I definitely have like a couple enemies out in this world, and if I really thought about it from an energetic level, I can conserve much more energy by just saying, like, that's my enemy, fuck him, than it would take me to and let's say so it's somebody that I wronged, right? Than it would for me to, like, call this person and be like, dude, I just want you to know, like, I'm so sorry for what happened, like, whatever. But this is something I get blowback on a lot, and I don't care. Like, even on the mastermind yesterday, I was getting like some blowback and some contradicting opinions. I'm a firm believer, and I didn't do this at the beginning of game. Now, if a girl tells me she has a boyfriend, I'm done. I'm done. It is
Yes.
and to a lot of guys in the pickup community, right? This is like not the alpha move because you should want to take her from the boyfriend and don't let an objection, like, steer you away from the girl and whatever. And these are all just like skeezy fucks. Okay. Now,
That's predator behavior. Let's call it what it is. It's predator behavior. Why would you want to be a predator?
well, look, this is the thing. This is what I teach. I say that a girl saying I have a boyfriend, one, it's true. Either it's true, A, or B, it's her way of, like, trying to end this conversation. It's the equivalent of having $100 in your pocket and a homeless guy's on the street and like, bro, can I get $1 for a sandwich? And you say, sorry, man, I don't have any cash. Okay. I've gotten a little ballsier with the ones here in Columbus because they're fucking animals towards me when I'm walking into the fucking gas station, and I just will say no. I just look them dead, and I mean that's a whole nother thing, but they will attack you here in Columbus. Anyway, so when a girl tells me she has a boyfriend, I'm going to move on. And it's also selfish. It's not just this, like, feminist, like, be good to women. It's also like, if I'm at Giant Eagle or Kroger or something and I'm like pushing and this girl keeps telling me she has a boyfriend, that's how you get a fucking security guard coming up to you like, hey man, it's time to
Yes.
leave. And now their eyes are on you all the time when you're coming into the store.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
also selfish and better for you to do. Now here's the, I don't even want to give the exception. There is, I'll just say that there is no exception. But the point is, is that the guy that I wanted to clarify something as well. Because earlier you were talking about the guy that was like pursuing you, right? And
Yep.
you told me a lot of the creepy shit he was doing and saying. And that's not a guy, I'd bet my life, that's not a guy that follows any actual pickup, right? That
Good. That's good to
that's not
know.
a guy, even the most narcissistic sociopath coaches, this guy's probably not following any of them or me or anybody. The worst of the worst are guys out here that are violently horny. I'm violently horny, but I know what to do with it. Like I can take care of that in my life. But these guys are violently horny and they have no clue how to express that energy. So these are the ones that I'm walking through a nightclub and some guy with a beer, fucking drunk, is now grabbing a girl by the arm and she's like, get the fuck off me. These are the guys catcalling, hey, pretty girl, hey, bring that ass over here. Because they don't know how to truly connect or I kind of hate this word, but seduce, right? They don't know how to truly attract someone into their life. So it's like the worst of the worst are actually the guys that don't study any of this shit. I mean, truly. And to them, they're in such scarcity because they're just as horny as a guy in pickup, but they don't know that like, oh, I actually could go out and really try to connect with a lot of females and I could end up having sex. Great, consensual, awesome sex. So they live in scarcity and do creepy shit. I normally don't like, it's like dark, but at the end of the day, I just want to say this because it's true. Guys that are out here sexually assaulting and raping women, they're not guys in pickup. And that's the way the world views it though, right? I've gotten comments from women, even in like this Facebook group the other day. I got destroyed by all these girls because they looked at my page and I was like getting in a debate with somebody. They look at me, what I teach and my people as like, this is, you guys are rapists. Like you're out here sexually assaulting it's like, no, it's literally the opposite. All the other guys in this group that are sending you guys unsolicited dick pics and shit, those are the fucking guys that you need to worry about.
And this is what I'm saying. The guys in pickup that are good guys, go out there and be seen, be heard, so you can dispel this. Oh, this guy's picking me up. He's a creep. He's a rapist. He's a sociopath. It's like, it's your given duty to be the good guy out there instead of the good guy scared to be out there, scared to be caught, ashamed of wanting to be around women. Because women want a good guy to come up to them and say, hi, hey, how's your day? You look pretty. I like your dress. And if she's open to it, then keep pursuing. But if she's not, like you said, go away. Like, I'm in Oakland and this guy was like, oh, I like your dress. I'm like, thank you. But then he kept hovering around me like a wolf. And then it got uncomfortable. And I'm just like, dude, I am not a piece of meat. I mean, if he just stood there and started talking to me, I would have talked to him. But this hovering thing is icky. So then I'm just like, in my mind, okay, every guy is a creep. I know that it's not true, but energetically, I'm like guarded now. So if a nice guy comes up to me, I'm just like, no, I don't want to deal with that. So as you guys are in the pickup community, it's your duty to help women see that it's not everybody, just a few that are crazy, like you're saying. Those guys are not part of the pickup community. So it's your job to help women see that the pickup community is good. And yes, your intention is just to smash, but you're not going to rape someone. You're not going to force them. You're not going to be a predator. You're going to honor her choices as well, but you're going to give her an opportunity to say yes or no. And it's your opportunity to say yes or no anyways. It's not like every girl you want to smash with.
Yeah.
I mean, you've said that. I've heard you say that. It's like, I don't want to be with every girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody, lots of guys in pickup have different intentions, right? Even a lot of times guys who think that they just want to like smash all the time and all this, it's because that's all they know, right?
Well, it's
I
what
made a
they hear. It's not what they know. It's what they hear. I've worked with plenty of you guys, and then it's what you before you even smash with anyone. Your idea in your head is like, I just want to smash. That's all I want. But when they actually start doing it, they come to me and they're like, Hattie, I want more than that. I like talking to girls. I like touching their skin. I like walking and holding hands. So they
yeah.
discover what they enjoy. But it's like this stereotype of just fuck them and leave them. You know, that's in sports. It's out there. And it's like, that's not what most guys want. It's not the only thing they want. Good guys want connection. They want to wake up next to someone and have breakfast and lay around all day and, you know,
Yeah. And even if that's with a lot of women, right? Even if that, you know, like this whole concept of like, you know, fuck them and leave them, that kind of stuff. Even that, I think that every man, truthfully, I think every guy, it's going to really serve them to have that phase. And it's more acceptable to have that phase if you're younger, right? Oh, Kyle, everyone jokes about this. I was just watching Bridesmaids the other day. It's funny. And even a woman is like, you didn't have your slutty college years, right? Like all of society knows that like that phase is there for most people of like hooking up a lot when you're younger and that kind of stuff. So even like even those experiences are oftentimes very and you know, this could go real religious and deeply philosophical or whatever, but at some level even a lot of those experiences are going to be very positive for both the man and the woman. But the important thing here that I think that we're talking about and maybe need to hit on even a little more is that this feeling when you're out that you're being creepy, that you
yes,
are creepy, that you're doing something wrong, that
yes.
will prevent you forever from getting any result, whether it's getting laid, going on dates, because it's all going to manifest in the form of you not being able to make great eye contact because you feel like you're
Yeah.
up to something, talking too quietly, which comes off as creepy, not approaching, period, these things. So what you're talking about here and what I'm talking about is it's like, so long as you know, I say this to students all the time.
Wait,
I go,
I wanna say something important because
go
you're
ahead.
listing what it looks like. It's also the fear of I'm gonna get caught, like looking behind you all the time. Those
Mm,
actions are creepy to women. It's like, what's going on? You know, is he setting me up? Is like other guys gonna come and jump at me? It gets the woman being suspicious. When you're acting shifty because you're embarrassed and ashamed, you're gonna come across as a creep, as a predator,
yeah.
as a sociopath, as a violator. And that's why it's important to release those things and stand tall that you are a person who's part of pickup and be proud of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
Let go of the creepiness. Go ahead. Sorry, I had to.
and no, that's great. And what I need to and what I always try to get across to guys that they don't understand, okay, is that to us, to anyone listening to this podcast, okay, they know all the pickup coaches. They know about Justin Wayne getting blown up by Vice. They know about the Street Attraction channel being pulled down because of the infield and the BBC, right? So we're so in it that it feels like a huge thing. It's fucking not. Just at my boxing gym the other day, I just started doing boxing, and
Yay, good for you.
when I told my boxing coach, he had never heard that people teach this, okay? When I told the guy that I spar with, he had never heard of it. This kid came in there the other day that apparently is like, he's just starting to succeed as an actor. He's doing commercials and all this stuff. He's never heard. He was fascinated. He's like, so what do you teach when like, okay, let's say this. I mean, he's blown away. The world doesn't know about this.
Yes.
So you're walking around thinking like the BBC is going to watch me, you know, I'm going to get exposed by Vice and all the feminists are out here. It's like, dude, no. If you're just talking to some fucking girl, she's going to go tell her friends, I was just shopping and like, yeah, he came up to me. Or let's say she doesn't like you. Let's say it goes bad. Yeah, this guy like came up, started talking to me at the grocery store, like fucking weirdo. Who cares? It doesn't matter. The point is that one, those opinions don't matter, but two, get out of the fucking
Yeah.
idea that just because you're
Mhm.
so in it, no one knows that you're out here doing pickup.
Yeah. It's true. And the reason you think they know because you're insecure about it. Because you're not proud of yourself. You're not standing tall in yourself going, I'm a pickup artist. And it is, I love that it's called artist. It's an art. It takes art to master something.
Mm.
You guys are spending time, energy, money, your good earned, hardworking money to learn to be in communication with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, to pull women, but some women want to be pulled.
Fuck
It's
yeah, they
not.
do.
Yes, there's a lot, especially like you said, that phase of being promiscuous. A lot of women want to have sex. They want to be pleasured. They want some guy to dote on them. They want a guy to come up and say, "Hey, you look beautiful. I love your dress." It feels good to get attention. It feels good
And
to you and it feels good to the woman when
yeah,
it's not creepy.
yeah. And look, here's the thing too. I got a couple things I got to say here. So one is I'll start with this. So I hooked up with this girl recently. I told the full story on the mastermind call that we did last night. For anybody listening, because we're not going to be putting in ads or anything. When you hear me talk about the mastermind all the time, it opens back up on June 1st. So you can go to evolutiondailymastermind.com to get all the details about that and sign up for the wait list. But we're going to be opening again on June 1st for only 7 days. You'll be able to get in either the lifetime membership or a low monthly membership cost. But I told this story, and I'm going to be a little more vague, like being so public with the podcast. But essentially, I slept with a girl recently who we ended up having like I've slept with her a few times, and we had some like deep talk the other night, and she basically ended up telling me because I was just like prying because she was saying some interesting things, and this is actually kind of sad. She actually ended up telling me, and this is like a cute girl, 25. She told me during this conversation that her life feels completely meaningless. And it was dark. She's just like, I graduated college. My job kind of sucks. I don't really know what other job I should get. She just was being very honest because I was kind of prying. And she's like, I just don't, my life feels pretty meaningless. And what I said to her is I said, and sure, there's tons of like deep, other things that she could like deep in her work. But one of the other things she said to me is that she wants a boyfriend. And I've long established with her that like it ain't me, but she wants a boyfriend, and she was telling me about a guy that she's talked to for the last couple months, and she thought they were going to date and they wouldn't and whatever. So I have a video, and everybody should watch this video. Type in Evolution Daily Women Are Lonely. It's people bring this video up to me, and I put it out a long time ago. It was from a boot camp, and I explained like girls like her that it's not because they're unattractive. It's not for any reason. They struggle to get like a boyfriend. So especially since so many of you listening would be down for a relationship, would be down to like fit her needs and she would fit yours, just keep in mind like there are tons of those women walking around. Okay, in the
Yeah.
aggregate of women walking around, some are married, some have boyfriends, some aren't going to be attracted to you. And then others want a boyfriend or want to get fucked, or sorry, that was really graphic, or want to have sexual intercourse. So you're walking around so fearful of that one little sliver, the sliver that won't be attracted to you, and you're neglecting all the other slivers that are out here.
Yes, exactly. It's time to release it. Be empowered. Empower yourself by letting go of the negative. It's bullshit thoughts. And it's self-imposed.
Mm.
It's we self-impose on ourselves with our negativity, with our thoughts. Stop it. It's
Mm-hmm.
not natural, it's not real. Because if you truly know yourself and your intentions, are good, why would you be scared? Why would you be scared to be a pickup artist? Why?
Yeah.
Why would you be ashamed of it?
Yeah. A big part of it, is that there has been so much negative aspects correlated to the idea of the pickup artist. I personally actually, and I don't think you and I have really like talked about this or whatever. I do not call myself a pickup artist. I don't call anybody in my mastermind, any of my students. I really reject that term actually. And it's because of so much that's correlated with like that idea, like the pickup artist. None of these guys actually want to be pickup artists. What they want to be is cool, in shape dudes that make money and that like either fuck a lot of girls or get a great girlfriend or a wife. So for me, it's like I do still love the term pickup. Like I'm teaching pickup, how to go out and meet chicks, but I do kind of reject that term. And I think that the more you can just get into the mindset of that's who you are. I'm a cool guy. I'm living my life and I deserve, and a great quality girl deserves to share this life with me.
Yes.
We both deserve this. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And that's what I tell my clients. I'm like, you're handsome, you're smart, you're educated, you have a good, stable job, you make money, and you deserve to go out there and put yourself out there because women deserve to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Women deserve to meet good guys like you guys. They're looking for it. And most of the guys that are aggressive, they're creepy. So
Mm-hmm.
it's your job, you good guys, it's your job to go out there and dispel that negativity. It's like, no, there's a lot of good guys out there, and I'm one of them, and I'm gonna talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hang out with you and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Letting go of the shame, letting go of the embarrassment, letting go of the creep, oh my God, someone's gonna catch me, someone's gonna label me a pickup artist. It's like these labels are not useful.
Yeah. And what another thing I want to add to this is in the mastermind, I made not only a video, which I make exclusive videos in there all the time, but I also talked about this deeply on the mastermind call that we did last night, which we do every single week. And I've been harping, which I've harped on it forever, but I'm harping now again because it's like really back in the forefront of my mind, is that one of the biggest things that will set you apart from other men is having longer conversations where the girl gets to know you more.
Yes.
And so what I want to point to is actually this video that went viral a long time ago of a girl in New York. She had a secret cameraman, just like filming infield, and she was hot, and she's walking around, and guys would catcall her because it's New York. And so she would then actually, and these weren't staged videos, she would go up and be like, "Oh, hey, like you complimented my ass. Did you want to have a conversation? Like maybe go on a date sometime?" And these guys were like, I mean, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Like they couldn't speak. They could not even in their wildest dreams, as a girl never actually come and responded to like, oh, nice ass girl. Oh, where are you going? And she just goes up, not confrontational. Hey, did you want, like, you were hitting on me. Did you want to have a conversation? And these guys fucking clamor up, right? So also that's another thing is for everybody needs to keep this in mind is that when we're doing cold approach, night game polls, like same night, having sex at night or same day even, that shit's like crazy. That's awesome. But for the most part in game, most of the girls you hook up with or date are going to come from getting their phone number and then going on a date with them. That's going to be like the majority of how guys end up hooking up. So the stronger the sample is that you've given her, the more likely the results are going to come. If all she remembers of you later that night when you text her is this guy that I talked to for, he came up, told me I was hot, and then within 1 minute got my number, and I don't know, But if you talked for 10 minutes, got to know her, she got to know you, you made her laugh a couple times, she can now associate positive emotion with you. And one last thing I want to say on this is that because I said this in the vid and then a kid commented, he was like, that's mind blowing, is if a girl can associate you with ease of conversation, she's going to go on a date with you.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
girls flake most of the time out of fear of social anxiety and that they're going to go on a date and it's going to be awkward.
Yeah. And it's like, why sit and be uncomfortable with someone who you
Mm-hmm.
didn't connect with to begin with? And guys go, well, why did you give me her number? Because in the moment it sounded like a good idea, but in retrospect, it's like, oh no, he didn't come across well conversing. And so I don't know if you're wrapping up, but I want to say, if you're going to spend your time and energy and money, spend it in educating yourself the art of communication. Learn how to communicate with yourself, with women, with guys, with people. And if you're going to obsess about something, don't obsess about being negative and being scared. And you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, you're wasting your life. Life just goes by. And as we get older, it gets faster. Like, you can spend a year putting your energy in signing up with Erin and learning how to communicate, how to talk to women, how to hang out with other guys and have honest, authentic conversations, instead of shutting yourself and hating on women, hating on yourself, hating on other. I mean, I've worked with guys where they literally would hate on other guys seeing them approaching women. I'm like, how is that useful? And then after they work with me for a while, they're like, oh yeah, good for him, because that's what I'm doing. So you become teammates with other men and cheerlead each other on, instead of hating on each other and hating on other women.
And that is another thing that I think messes people up in the pickup community is, I mean, I'm really not just sitting here trying to make a sale or something. Every pickup group out there, every Facebook group and all this, it is just full of these like very fragile egoed men that they're just like attacking each other left and right. I guarantee there's tons of people in these groups that would love to like have some support, post like a little field report where maybe they're just like, went out today, had bad social anxiety, ended up talking to one girl, didn't go anywhere, but it was a win for me. But they would literally in those groups get called like you're a fucking fag, man up, like whatever, like this kind of shit. Like, it's very toxic. It's very, very toxic. And in the Evolutionary Mastermind, like, we put that shit to rest very, very quick. If when I see somebody behaving in that way, and we all roast each other in bro fun ways, and a lot of times it'll be like the guys who have actually met in person will roast each other bad and stuff, but it's because there's a connection there, right? And we put that shit to rest real quick. If I see some guy being a shithead, I'll start usually with like a private message, like, hey bro, not everyone's going to be at your level. Calm down with that kind of shit. Like, we're all here to support each other, that kind of thing. And then I've straight up just kicked members out, like canceled their membership. Like, you're gone. You're not a fit for this community. Because
good for you, Erin.
Because here's the other thing. It used to be like the pickup community versus the world. It was kind of like if you met someone in pickup, you were like, we were all like, oh my God, like you're like a brother to me now. We're in this secret society. Now it's like the various factions of like the pickup community against each other, and it's gay. It's gay. It's
it needs to stop. Masculine, you gotta be each other. You gotta be on each other's team.
Yeah,
not against each other. Be each other's allies. Like, I don't like using that term, but it's like if you're going to war, you go to war with your brothers. You know, not your enemies. Yeah. You know, you're putting yourself out there, be each other's brothers, support each other, and have fun with it. It's more fun than to hate, because as soon as you're hating on someone, you're hating yourself. When you start liking yourself, loving yourself, being proud of who you are and your life's choices, you will be cheering the other guy on, and you'll be helping him, and he'll help you. And there's this understanding. You know, you're at the mall or at the grocery store and you see another guy approaching women, you'd go up and be like, yeah, he's a great guy. You don't even have to know his name. Like, how fun is that? You know, you become his best friend in that moment, and you support each other instead of trying to steal from each other.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very strange phenomenon, and it is rooted in more scarce thinking. Last time I was doing a
Mhm.
boot camp out in Miami, I love running into pickup guys. I love it. When I see it, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, like hell yeah. And I went up and talked to these guys, and there was one of them was like, "Oh, dude, what's up? Like, I've seen some of your vids. Like, man, can you like come over here with us?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm with these students. Like, we're gonna be out, whatever." And then like his one friend like clearly either has seen my stuff and didn't like me, or he was just in such a scarce mode that he was like, I can't even like fuck with other pickup guys right now. And he was just being like very strange and just like I felt a dark energy. It was like very, very strange. And so these are the two polarities of kind of what we're dealing with here is like this one guy that's just like, oh, we're all out here doing pickup. This is fun. And then the other guy that's like, oh, they're probably going to try to take the girls that I could possibly have or whatever his thoughts were. But overall, what you're talking about here is like eradicating the darkness, the dark thoughts, the
Yes.
dark energy, and allowing in the
Y-
light.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, it's all self-imposed. Like people go, how do I do that? It's all over. You stop. You stop doing it to yourself. You stop
Mm,
being negative. You stop being ashamed. Be proud. You
mm-hmm.
claim your space in what you're doing. You stop being negative. You stop hating on other people. Start with you. You be the guy who's going out there. And so, what's the appropriate word? Gaming? Is that the appropriate terminology?
Yeah, sure. Picking up chicks, gaming, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. You be the guy who's going to go pick up chicks and be the fun, positive guy and have a good time doing it. Not
Mm-hmm.
begrudging other guys and hating on women. It's like, oh, she rejected me. She didn't reject you, actually. And I love that you keep saying that. There's other things going on in her life, and she doesn't even know you to reject you.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that earlier on. Like, if I'm dating someone for 3 months, 6 months, then yeah, that's a rejection. If you just met someone, you talked for 10 seconds, even for an hour, they're not rejecting you. They're busy with their lives. They're not even thinking about you. You're not on their radar.
Mm-hmm.
None of us are important to each other until we choose that.
Yeah.
So enjoy, have fun, and work on being consciously proud that you're a guy, a good guy who wants to meet women and have a good time. There's nothing wrong with that. That is amazing. And women need that. They need to interact with the good guys, not the creepy guys. You guys need to put the creepy guys out of business,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's
And I
like,
just and we will wrap up here shortly, but I do just want to like stress one point too, based on what you just said and what we talked about earlier, is that like, I know you might not agree with this, and a lot of people probably wouldn't. But sometimes sometimes you feel it, and on some level, I get that it's not even fully true, but sometimes like if you feel like a piece of shit, you probably should. There's like a lot of times like maybe you should be feeling like a piece of shit. Like, and what I mean by that is like you haven't been living with any integrity to yourself. Your
yeah,
room is disgusting. You don't even try to look presentable. You've given up on your diet or your fitness as a young man. Like you've done these things that like you should not feel great about them. And yes, it's important to
mm-hmm.
kind of like to try to like self-love, but back to what we were saying earlier, start the self-love process. Because if you try to tell a guy, and I've gotten this pushback a lot of like, okay, Aaron, you're telling me to love myself and all this stuff, but like I don't feel it. I don't really feel it. Well, we all know that feeling of buying like some new outfit and we go out with it and feel like nice, right? Like maybe you bought a dress that you felt like it's so colorful and nice and like you just feel good. Go like these guys need to go buy like some fucking outfits. We were on a
Yes.
call. We were on a call a few weeks ago, and I made this kid get off the call to go to the mall and buy clothes, and he did. And I was like, if you don't fucking post in the group these outfits, I'm gonna ban you. We're never gonna talk again. He went to the mall. He bought these new clothes that looked awesome. It's like if you're not bald, switch up your hair, get like a cooler haircut. Fucking get some nice clothes. Your room is disgusting. You have a pizza box in the corner, dirty clothes piling up. Like, live with some integrity. And every day you're going to start feeling like, wow, I'm so glad I cleaned my room. God, I'm so
Yes.
glad I got rid of those huge baggy jeans. Like, why did I wear those? All these things lead you to now feeling proud, like you're saying.
Yeah. Lead by example of caring for yourself with your actions. Clean
Mm-hmm.
room, clean clothes, and women would be attracted to that. Would you be attracted to a girl who is not clean, who's dirty, who smells, and you go to her house and it's a mess? Like, men don't like that either. Have you, Erin, have you been to women's homes that are like disgusting?
It's very unattractive. I have, yes.
It's like what the hell? This woman hates herself. What am I doing here?
And I think too, like in David Data's book, The Way of the Superior Man, uh, uh,
He's
he
great.
he he associates masculine with chaos, and he associates feminine with order in many ways. And that's something that I've always actually loved about going to like girls' houses instead of my own, is that everything's like, I don't even know how they do it. I'm like, are you all interior designers? Like, there's just nice little things and like everything's clean. And it's like my hellhole of like a studio slash living room, just fucking cords everywhere. And yeah, so then when I see the opposite of that, a girl's house, it's like really dirty and unkempt. I'm just like, ew, like I feel that like you're not even in polarity with my masculine chaos, which is probably
Hmm. Hmm.
hypocritical actually in some way, but whatever. Whatever. I'm not Gandhi.
That's great.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
are you gonna wrap
awesome.
up?
Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap up. Thank you so much
This was
for
fun. So
yeah.
I'm
I'm telling
I'm
you,
proud
people,
of you, Erin,
thank
and
you.
and I'm proud of you guys. Like what you're doing is a good thing, and stand by it and let go of the baloney. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve the world. It doesn't serve women. Again, I'm like repeating myself in different ways. It doesn't serve women for you to not be proud of yourself. And I'm not saying like proud, oh, I'm the shit. Like really be proud from your gut. When you go work out, you feel pride that you just worked out and you look good. That kind of proud. You're going out, you want to connect.
And one last important thing that I think kind of maybe not puts a bow on everything we talked about, but just one last thing I got to add here is that also being so wrapped into the pickup community, when you're on these forums every day and shit and like watching videos and all this stuff, it feels like everyone's doing this. The biggest people in the whole pickup community, they will like max out at like 100,000 views or something. And I'm talking like the biggest, most famous coaches will max out if they're lucky at 100K views. We're talking about way less than 1% of the population that is out doing pickup. Way, way, way less than 1%. And the thing that no one is paying attention to and that everyone's forgetting is that most men that struggled with women, that are struggling with women, they have
Mm-hmm.
given up. They're rotting
Yes.
away in their apartments. They're not even watching pickup. They're not attempting. So don't be a guy that gives up. And I say this
Yes.
because you said a minute ago, you were like, what you guys are doing is amazing. And I think that's hard for people to receive because it feels like everyone's doing it. And what? No, they're not. They're not doing shit. And you go to a club and you see like a good looking guy with a good looking girl. That again at this club is less than 1% of the city. There's
Mm-hmm.
apartments all around you with guys that have totally given up. They're beaten down by life. They're lonely, and that will never change. And it's very sad. And I want to save all of you.
Yes. So sign up with
Yeah.
Erin. I agree with you. You can't give up. If it's not working, keep working your process. Keep changing your thoughts, keep changing your behaviors, keep changing your feelings, keep working on yourself until you get the results you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you're living a life of victory. You are a victor of your life. Giving up is victim consciousness, it's victim behavior.
Mm.
None of us are victims. Giving up is a choice. People are like, well, I don't have, that's a choice.
Yeah.
So choose to be a victor of your life
Awesome.
and
We'll wrap
keep
up
getting
there.
back on the horse.
we'll wrap up there. Guys, if you want to work with Hadia, I believe you have an application or something to sign up for
Yes.
to work with you over at hadialoving.com. Like you said, a lot of guys have listened to the podcast and ended up working with you. And, you've really helped me over the years to work out just my own mental barriers and recognizing what's been irrational that I've been believing for so long and overcoming those hurdles. So you guys can check her out over at hadialoving.com. And again, if you head over to evolutionailymastermind.com right now, you can sign up for the wait list and you'll receive an email on June 1st when we do open. I would love to, Hadia, I want to have you on the mastermind soon too. Like that would
Yes.
be,
I
that
love
would,
you guys. I miss
'cause
you.
that's,
We did
that's
that
like,
a few times.
yeah, that's like where there's, there'll be like a lot of guys on there at once and we can
Let's do
field
it.
questions and stuff and it'd be really fun. So,
My people.
yeah, yeah. All right, Hadia, thank you for being on the show.
I love you. I love you, Aaron. I love you guys because love is given.